Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be making my coconut soul soap. Now this soap, or I should say maybe the fragrance that I use for my soul collection really does teach me lessons, and I honestly should learn from it because I've tried making my soul soap before and I realized when I use the fragrance, which is earth and wind or earth and water or something like that from Voyager, there's some component in it that when I do want to color something blue and I've tried using different blues, that it does not turn out the way or the blue I'm looking for, which is fine. As soon as I put in the blue, it starts turning like a green, and then I put in another kind of blue to kind of offset that and it turns like a dark brown, and then I put in a different blue and it turns purple. So I'm over that blue now, or over the fragrance. Next time I make it, maybe I'll just make it a brown soap but we'll see. So you know my routine already. I've already put my light water in here and I'm just mixing it around. I'm sorry for like the shaking of the camera. I was using a different stand and I didn't realize that it was like kind of causing it to move around. So for those persons who have I think it's called vertigo, I'm sorry if it's making you feel a little queasy or anything. So I separated all of my soap here so that I can add the colors. And one of them I'm adding, I think this is in the nude from Voyager. This is the brown. And then I wanted to use pearl blue, so I go ahead and I add that. Pearl blue and my Poseidon blue usually work so well, like I never have issues with them. But I think I honestly think it's the fragrance. So here now I go ahead and add my titanium dioxide as well to my white. So I'm just mixing my colors up. So you see here, that blue already starts to turn a little green. So I'm like, okay, I'll try a different blue. I'll see if maybe there's something that can, change it back. I mean, I could have left it like this too, but there's something about it. I'm like, I don't like how that looks. So I decided to add my lake blue to turn it blue, and I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. That's the blue I'm looking for. And then I go ahead and add my fragrance oil. So this is a mixture of the earth and water and coconut. So this is another mixed fragrance, and when I smell it, I was like, oh, this is nice together as well. And don't be afraid to mix your fragrances. You only know if you try. Like, do a small batch and then go from there, right? So you see it's already changing color. And I mixed it again like this because I realized for the coconut, I don't know if that also carries some sort of like oil, like fats. I know this is fragrance oils are different to natural fragrances, but it sometimes makes it a little bit clumpy, I should say, or it brings like more oils to the top. And you can already see the blue is changing like a dark purplish. And I know now that's because as well as the lake color does that. But after that happens, I'm like, it is what it is. There's nothing more I'm gonna try to do. But then I was like, you know what, I'll try using some Poseidon blue because it never fails me, but then it still did not give the color I was looking for, and that's fine. The soap at the end is not an ugly soap. It's just sometimes you envision what you would like the soap to look like and it doesn't turn out like that, and that kind of, you know, bums you out, but that's okay. You can even see it starting to turn like a dark red, like a burgundy color as well. One thing I've learned when I'm making these soaps is that you have to learn to push on and adapt, because sometimes your soap is gonna not turn out the way you want it, or maybe you're making your soap and it seizes up on you so quickly, like it's like, what am I gonna do? But you have to try to get it inside of the mold, otherwise it will never set up, and then you're stuck there with a whole set of soap that you can't use. You can use it for your own personal use, because you can always put them inside one of those exfoliating bags and use it that way. But you know, like when you are making a batch of soap to sell, you would like to at least be able to sell that soap, right? So yeah, so I was deciding what I'm gonna do, so I decided I'm just gonna do in the pot swirl. It doesn't make sense trying to do a different design. This will have to work for now. So it's kind of overflowing, but I'll still go ahead and place the rest of the soap on top. And what I'll do is just let it set up for a little bit and then go ahead and just do design on the top. Okay, so it has set up a bit, and I'll go ahead and just push in the side so that it's not overflowing anymore. That just helps to create the design on top too. Like right now it looks like a little muddy, and I realize that like the colors look like they have not like they're meshing all together, and that's okay. That's just the top of the soap. And here it was just leveling it out because one side actually had a little bit more than the other. And with soap, it feels like you can play in it all day. Please don't. It's fun to do this all the time, but it's just soft at this moment, and I'm just trying to make sure that it comes from the side of the mold. Right, so I like how the side of it looks. Sorry I didn't show you properly how it is, but the sides have such a nice wavy pattern. Right, and that's how the inside looks. So it is a little purple, and I did leave it a couple days and it started changing back to blue. That's why I said sometimes soaps can be so unpredictable sometimes when it comes to how it will look, because you'll see in a couple videos to come that yeah, the fragrance oil in some of the soaps that I did turned it like totally brown. Around this time, it doesn't really matter to me anymore if it does turn like a brown color, because it is really the scent of the soap. And I realize like when you do go ahead and use the soap, that brown color kind of like disappears over time, but it can be a hit and a miss. Sometimes it is not always like that. So yeah,